We can go ahead and get started. My name is Scott. I am the CEO of Heroes Token. I'm one of the 5 devs that make up our project. This is our effort to educate the community on crypto. It was something that we wanted to implement into our project, and we thought along the lines of what our project today is doing. However, we never were able to get into that. It was just a little bit too much with everything else we had going on. We felt like bringing great quality projects to the communities and letting them, be available to have the community ask questions to and get the answers that they're looking for, and not just easy questions, the tough questions as well. And that is what this space is all about. It is crypto education for projects that are currently in the space. It is, listening to people ask questions, maybe questions that you didn't think of to ask a project that you're involved with. But yeah, that's kind of what we're all about. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to introduce Decanect and let them go ahead and run through their team that is here and give a brief introduction. Welcome, guys.
Yes, thank you, Ace, for having us. I'm Thomas. I'm the lead developer of the project. We also have Jason. He's in charge of operations, and we have CryptoPunk Zach. He's the CFO, but he does a lot more than just that. And I see we also have Crypto Harvest in here. He's working with us on promoting marketing. So this is all of us that's here right now that I see.
Awesome. So why don't we start with you? Just go ahead and give us a little brief description of how you got into crypto.
Well, I've been trading stocks for about 4 years, and I heard about Bitcoin before it boomed. So I was watching it, and really that's how I got into it, is through watching, through being involved into stocks, and then of course you learn about different other types of investments. And I started putting money into it when was this? I believe it was the very beginning of 2021, January. So I like to study. I don't really mind not catching the bottom. I would rather know where I'm putting my money into. I'll wait and I'll pay lower, but at least I'll know that I'm safe for the long term. So that's the type of perception I have on this, and that's how I got involved in it.
Yeah, I hear you. I first learned about crypto back in 2009, and it took me a few years before I started to get involved. It is a lot to take, in. It's not something that is common knowledge, at least yet, and that's what we're trying to do here. And I know that's what you guys are trying to do. Jason, how about yourself?
Hey, so I got into crypto first maybe back in 2017, bought a little Bitcoin, learned about the space. Then in the 2018 crash, I kind of just left the space, came back at the start of 2021, probably around March or April, just in time for the top of the market, right? So great timing. Been in ever since, so I didn't leave this time. But the one thing I guess I was missing since 2017 was a kind of a one-stop shop for verified, trustworthy, honest educational content. Because when you're new to the space, you don't really know how to do anything. When I came into DeFi, I didn't know how to install MetaMask. Right? Obviously, we've all come a long way since then, but that was the one thing. So it took me a while to get up and running because I didn't have any of that content. So when Tom told me about Decanect, I was like, yes, this is it. This is going to be huge. This is exactly what the space needs, right? And trustworthy content that we can share with beginners, with people who are kind of in the middle, and also with experts. So that's what kind of attracted me to this, and I jumped on board.
Man, that's awesome. Now, imagine if during that time you didn't get out of crypto, you accumulated during that period in good, solid, just even stable coins, right? Or not stable coins, but blue chip coins. What your bag would have looked like in the last bull run. It would have been
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, at least
amazing,
right
right?
now, right?
So yeah, no, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us, how did you guys come up with Decanect? And I know when you launched, but go ahead and share with the community.
Well, it's kind of what you said. What if you knew and you would have just stayed in, like for Jason, right? How much better you would have been off right now. So this is where we come from. We've made these mistakes. All of us have. We've been through various different situations, as everybody else here. Some of us been scammed. Most all of us have been. We've let go too soon. We gave into fear. And all of this is due to simply not being aware of what each crypto does and what kind of future it holds. For the utility that it has. So we actually got together about now I think it would be about 8 months ago, and we started just building our team, um, and sharing different ideas. It was never from the very beginning. It was just us talking among each other, and then we realized that it's there was more people interested in the discussions that we're having, and we thought that we could maybe expand it a little bit further and create a project. Since some of us have met by being invested in projects who had also an idea of creating an educational platform, and we loving the idea ourselves, we invested in them, and unfortunately they failed to deliver. So that was another kick for us to go ahead and do it, because we truly love the idea. This is how we met, right, through this idea. Most of us did. And we just wanted to see this be created. And then the funny thing is when we started to get to know each other better, instead of talking about different cryptos, but we started talking about each other, and we realized that we have actually a full team, with experience that is needed to lead a project. So, and that's how it ended up to be Decanect.
Amazing. All right, so tell us about Decanect.
Oh yeah, so now I'll probably just won't stop talking, I think. It's not fun talking about yourself, but it's fun talking about the project. But um, over time, it actually became to be us, and stuff. That's all we actually ever talk about. We used to talk about family. Now we talk about Deconnect, So I get, but so Decanect right now, what we have is a simple Web2 utility. When I say simple, I mean that it's accessible very easily by anybody. We're using the traditional methods. Simple. One very simple reason behind this is, if we look at the statistics that we have also presented on the white paper, majority of population is not aware of not only what crypto is, but of course they don't even know how to create a Web3 wallet. We've had a Web3 access and all of that created for that exact platform, but a lot of people had a hard time signing up, so it kind of lost the purpose of teaching somebody when they can't even log in to learn. So we went ahead and started added an extra step, which was to create a Web2 utility, making it easy for everybody to access, allow people to earn points for the progress they make. So that way they could experience blockchain and actually invest into something without really losing their money, right? So, I mean, it's $50 for 5,000 points. If you go through about 8 courses, you will earn those $50. These 8 courses will take no longer than a week to complete. So now these $50, it might not seem like it's much, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to give it yourself a shot, to invest into a project based on what you've learned on Deconnect, right? So this is what we're trying to do. We don't want people to invest their own money. We want them to actually provide them a way to earn this money by learning, and then test their knowledge with the money they earned. Then the next thing that we're doing on Deconnect is uh, we also give a different type of point, which is NFT points. So as you progress, you get this point as well. And once you earn 10,000 NFT points, you could get an NFT, which provides access to the utility that we're working on right now, which is Decablock. And Decablock, uh, this one this one allows anybody, any project, or any individual to create any type of quiz they would like, a giveaway of some course, you could assign any type of NFT you would want to lock this content. So this is Decablock actually is Deconnect, but it's with Web3 integrated into it and allowing anybody to do what Decanect is doing.
That sounds great. And you make a good point. It's from talking to you guys in the past. I know that you're out there to help the new person coming into crypto to just become more knowledgeable. And it doesn't make sense to do that if they have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops and know how to do basic stuff before they can actually learn. So, doing the Web2 platform is awesome. I truly appreciate that. I think a lot of people will. Now, how are you planning on getting that Web2 content to the masses? How are you planning on, expressing that to bring in investors?
Well, the way that we're doing it right now, and that's the way we're getting the content done, is some of it is done by ourselves, some of it is used by the available content on YouTube. And now what we're doing is we're seeking to achieve at least 25% of all of the content that's done by the influencers that are working with us, right? So we have Believes Crypto Harvest, we have Adam Shelton, and we have Journey that just onboarded with us. He's also creating educational content for us. So what we're doing is these guys, they love education themselves, right? They love educating people. So by them creating this content, their listeners are always also aware of this content, right? And this content is available on Decanect only. So therefore, this drives traffic to us, and as well as they're happy because they're doing what they love to do. So this is what we're doing. We're actually we're partnering with people who have followings, large followings, and who do this already, and we simply ask them to create content for us. So if you go on Decanect, you will see that the very last course is completely done by us, by Believes, which we consider us as well. And that's it. And we're moving forward. Journey's doing another one on do your own research right now, so it's going to be fully ours as well. And yeah, that's how right now we are driving traffic to it.
Yeah, that's great. So, as far as the contract, any unique tokenomics, or what's the breakdown on buys and sells?
Well, we have not reannounced, and the reason behind that is that we want to change taxes. So we actually started out with 12% buys, 12% sells, and we lowered it down to 2% buys and 6% sells right now. 2% from buys goes to liquidity. That's it, and 4% from sales goes to marketing, and 2% goes to liquidity as well. That's all we have for now is taxes. There's nothing special with the tokenomics. We're more focused on the utility itself. The contract is just there to allow people to buy the coin.
Awesome. So, as far as the project goes and longevity, you're going to need some form of income. How is that gonna? How are you going to accumulate that income to keep the project going? If everything's going into liquidity and, if everything's going into liquidity.
And 4% is also going to marketing. These taxes are temporary, but either way, we're not relying on taxes. They are here just for until we do establish the revenue stream. For the revenue stream to work, we need to have, we would at least, I would think, about 1,000 members. We would still have to discuss it, but the revenue stream itself is going to be through DecaBlock. Decanect is going to remain free and is going to be it's going to remain free. DecaBlock is the one that's going to be the revenue stream. The type of revenue stream, there's just a few options that we're discussing. The main one being is for people to be able to create content, they have to buy membership, right? Membership or an NFT. That is going to be the key. So that's one of the revenue streams. Another revenue stream that is going to be also on DecaBlock is going to be listing tokens. So if everything that I'm saying right now, most people probably already stopped listening, and if somebody was to listen later, they probably will stop after a few minutes because that's how our attention span is. So if everything I said, it would actually be covered in a 1-minute video where nobody has to read. So it's going to be a listing like CoinGecko, except everything is going to be explained about the coin in a 1-minute video. Everything that somebody needs to know. So in order for somebody to be listed on there, and they're gonna have to pay us a fee, and for that fee, they get a listing as well as they get a video made by either us or one of the influencers working with us.
That's amazing. No, it sounds great. So anything you guys want to add? I think you covered just about everything, but any additional information?
As far as the project is, man, we're just very excited to see. We just reached a new all-time high again. Once again, we're very happy that the holders that we have, the ones that participate in the Telegram with us, they truly see the long term vision that we have, right? So as far as that, I think there's really nothing else. On what we're doing is just simply continue to deliver content for the education, as well as we are building Decablock. And yeah, that's about it. That's all.
No, I did see your new all-time high. That was last night, right? After the mega space.
Yeah, man. That was it was an amazing space, and it gave us a lot more confidence in what we're doing with Decablock, because every project that presented, I mean, is it's easy to understand, but at the same time, it's hard to grasp when you don't actually. El Toro really caught our attention. The way he presented it, he's so energetic, but it's so complicated to really understand it until you see it working or until you experience it yourself. So this is exactly what Deca Block is, to make it a lot easier to understand. If somebody is saying I have a utility and is doing this and that, what we're doing is we're gonna provide all of this in action over a 1 minute video.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and that's, I know there was a lot of people in the space last night, and, some of the projects, kind of drew things out. Other projects, they had, quick, 60-second elevator pitch, right? And it's tough as a new investor to take that 60-second elevator pitch and make something of it. Something that makes it worthwhile to look into it even more. Right. I know they consistently said that, hey, do your research, check all these projects out, and everyone should, but really it's tough when you're listening to a space like that with all those fantastic projects, and then you're trying to say, okay, well, which one really stood out? They all have great utility, they all have great features, or I really like this a lot. So that's something that I think is important, is being able to educate people on how to do the research, how to look into a project, how to find out all the details, where to go to ask the questions. And, for you guys, where's the best place to go for the community to ask questions?
Decanect. Well, um, uh, the way we do it, right? We go through various different sources to find information. If you check out the do your own research videos that we have, it's just token sniffer, Etherscan, checking all the wallets. It's checking the contract, checking the website, make sure the team is KYC, reading through the white paper, making sure that it matches the roadmap. Making sure going into their socials to see if the owners are actually active. Trying to communicate with the community as well as with the dev team to make sure that they are there to answer questions and not try to defend themselves on any questions. So it's just so many all of these things, and plus a lot more. We cover all of them, but there is not one place. This is why we did Decanect, is for it to be a one place to go to for everything, because there is no such a place, at least that nothing that we're aware of.
Right. Yeah. So I guess, for your community or people that are interested in looking into your project, you check out their website. It's decanect.com. It's pretty simple. They have a fantastic page here. And I do see some free beginner courses that are listed on there, which is awesome. They have their white paper listed, which, again, all fantastic, all very transparent. And I do know that the dev team is very active in the Telegram. If you guys get the opportunity, you should pop in there. And I will also suggest that you guys should post a link to the top of the page here.
Yes, we will. And another thing, so like we said, us discussing it here is going to be hard to grasp, right? But what we're doing, we have a quiz running all the way up to Christmas. That quiz forces people to engage with our utility. At the same time, you are eligible to be one of the top 10 winners. At the moment, there is none. There is no winners because there is still a place for all top 10 to still be there, right? So if somebody would just go to the Telegram, we'll provide the link for the quiz. Feel free to take your time. It's running up until Christmas. The 10 people with the top scores will be rewarded. At the same time, you will be acquainted with who we are, what we do. You will understand if this is something that you truly believe in and you want to invest in based on the utility that we have and not something that we are saying.
Yeah, 100%. I will allow anybody that has a question or wants to, pop up and speak to request the mic. We'll bring you up. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, I guess what would be, I guess I'll start off. What would be your advice to somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto that is interested in possibly investing? What advice would you give them?
Uh, Two things, right? First is to, I guess, it's really hard to just say one, but to really try out the utility. If a crypto catches your attention, please do not go according to what the news says or what you hear on TV. Please always make sure to check out the utility and make sure that it is what they say it is. And second of all, to find an entry point, make sure you know how to do technical analysis.
Right. So again, for a beginner, that might be a little bit over their head, but it is all good information. And if you don't know what Thomas had just said, you can always check out Decanect.com and find out what that means. Hey, CryptoPunk, I see you popped up. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ace. Hey, man, I've just got a few minutes and I've got to head out, but I just want to kind of add to what he was talking about on Decablock. It's really hard to visualize. He's going to have Saturday. He's going to have us a little bit of an idea, a presentation of it, so maybe you'll get to see a little bit of that. But just kind of imagine if you're a new project. There's new projects every day coming out, and you don't have a place to go to really get established, get a start, get started with a community. Decablock is going to kind of help assist with that, where you can have an NFT that locks your content. You've got a 1 minute, little, card that pops up that, you can swipe it left, swipe it right if you want to look at it or not. You might click on it, and when it flips over, it might have their token or, a token or something of that nature. But we're going to provide templates inside there for the new tokens or existing tokens, where they can create their content, their quiz, the same as we do, and just help guide them through what they can do. And the way our quizzes work is, you're gonna have to go research. Like our community members were like DMing us, like how many years experience do you have in this? So basically, what it does is it forces them to look at your website, it forces them to look at your tokenomics, forces them to look at your white paper, forces them to know who the dev is and about the devs. So it really forces people to do the DYOR. And we think that's the benefit. So you could even be an established coin, that just wants to grow their base, which every coin does. It could be Volt, right? Volt's huge, but they also want to be bigger. Or it could be brand new, whatever meme token, coming out. They want to obviously get established and grow. So if you're in a community, kind of like we were in the mega space last night with lots of people, the more we listened to that space last night, the more we knew what we were doing was going to be special. So I just wanted to add that part about Decablock. It's really hard to visualize, but once it's here, I think you guys will be really excited about it.
No, man, I love it. And, I think, the avenue that you guys are going down is amazing. I think the space definitely needs this. It needs it for a number of reasons. And anybody that, was live and active as far as a project goes during the decline to where we're at now, as far as the overall crypto space, they know that the mass majority of the public doesn't get, how all of this works. And, we were talking about a little earlier about Jason and him exiting crypto altogether during the last bear market. And, what would have happened if he would have just stayed in there and gradually accumulated during that entire period, what his return would have looked like last November. Right. And that's the type of education that I think people don't get. I think we have a lot of younger, and I'm older myself, but we have a lot of younger investors here that they don't have the experience even in the stock market to understand, how everything works, what a long-term hold means. They're expecting, to wake up one morning and have their wallet, 100x. And that I don't know how accurate those were with the claims that they had made in the past. I think probably what happened was that person bought, accumulated, and wrote it out, and then one morning he woke up or she woke up, and then he saw the return, and that can happen in this space. I mean, just with ETH, if ETH would take a massive turn, and if the project is paired with it, that's going to affect the price point of the project alone. So, there's a lot of things that we need to educate on, and I think you guys are going down the right path.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, and I'll tell you what I run into the most of now because I'm older as well. I'm closer to 50 than I am 40. So, is the younger people they do make it the Coinbase exchange because that's the most prominent, easy, big letters, easy to use, easy to trade, what have you. But they get stuck there. They don't know that they can create a wallet and then go into the wallet and then go into DeFi and just move around in a whole different sector where you do have the opportunity to 100x or they're if it's not on Coinbase they're not buying it. So I mean, and that's not a bad thing to stay in the blue chips, but there's also other opportunities out there that they're just not aware of. And that's the unique thing about Decanect and how it moves the client, what I'm not sure what the proper terminology before, but let's just say their client, they come through. So they start out and they go through blockchain for beginners and they move into NFTs and dApps and all the different, subject matter that we have on there. And then once they basically graduate, they earn enough NFT points, then can they enter all the content into Decablock, which is going to be more advanced, where you have to connect a wallet that shows the NFT in it from Decanect to be able to enter in there. So we're forcing, not forcing them, but we're encouraging them to come through. I mean, you can go directly to Decablock, but you're not going to get opened up to all the content, if that makes sense. So we're really forcing you to learn about the basics before you step into the space. So you go in with all the tools you need. You're not going in to build a house with only a screwdriver. You know what I mean? So you have all of the tools that you need. So that's important to us.
Well, if you're MacGyver, a screwdriver, a piece of gum, and duct tape, you could probably do it.
See, now we're older guys, so we know who MacGyver is. These other people might not.
No, I'm just teasing. But no, you're 100% right. And I like that, ease into your project where you go from the Web 2 to the Web 3, educating along the way and helping them get into, DeFi. That is massive. And that is what is missing in this space. I know I have been certified in several blockchain council courses, and those are not for somebody who knows nothing. I mean, that is something for, even some of the developers that have taken it have struggled with those courses. They're pretty in depth. They're pretty elaborate, and there needs to be something that eases from knowing nothing to that, right? And it sounds like you guys are working on that. That's what you guys are accomplishing and are building, and I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just like you said it perfectly. When it's usually it's more people with a lot of experience are the ones doing this educational content. What we are doing, we have the experience based on our own mistakes and our own wins. So we kind of know the process based on how we are beginners, just like somebody was 2 years ago. So we are those people. So we know how to guide them from where we to where we are now. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a lot easier for us because other people who um, maybe they are very experienced developers, so they understand how to code and all of that stuff. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna they don't realize how many things a beginner will not know about coding, right? As I was learning, this is an issue I also ran into, right? But now I went through all of that, and I see what's missing in that part. So we're also going to create courses on how to code, adapt, how to code a game, how to mint NFTs and create them from zero, because this is what we are doing right now for Decanect.
And you know, the
Awesome.
space is ever evolving too, Ace. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to run out of content. You know, I mean, 10 years from now, we're going to have new content. 5 years during the next halvening cycle in 2024, we're going to have content. So there's always going to be content, which that's, you know, closer to 2024, we'll probably actually have a whole course content of what a halvening is for people that don't know and how, you know, the grandfather of crypto does affect all the other crypto. So. But hey, man, thanks so much for having us on here, buddy. I've got to step out, but everything you're doing for us, we appreciate 100%, man. You've introduced us to a lot of people, and just for everything you do, Ace.
Hey, I appreciate it. And thank you for stopping in for the brief period that you could. You know, I appreciate it profusely. So, but have a great night, and hope work doesn't wear too much on you.
I hope not. See you, buddy.
All right. See you later. Okay, Thomas. So the next question I have is one of the things that you made a point of was having other projects come in and list, and you guys would create a platform very similar to like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. That's accurate, right?
Yes, the listing part, the concept of listing, yes, it will be just like CoinGecko, except it will not require anybody to read anything. We will provide a whole introduction of the project within a 1 minute video of the information that is necessary for somebody to get started, you know, to see if they're interested in the project.
All right. So is it going to have charts as well and display, you know, the information that you see on those platforms?
No chart. This will be just the fundamentals of the project itself without taking the chart into it. It's going to be about the team. It's going to be about the utility, and it's basically going to provide the links to that. Uh, and yeah, it will be very simple. It's so that people, you know, when they see the video, all they got to do is just click on maybe one or two links, and then they discover, you know, whether it's something that they are interested in or not. You know.
Now, you guys realize that you got some devs in here. I see Sato. I see Seth. So what would be the requirements for a project to get listed on your platform?
It's us. It's actually so we still have to discuss all of this. One of the requirements we thought might be is to hire one of the influencers that is working with us in order to provide that video, or hold our NFT, which we have not released yet. We are releasing it within the next 7 days. So holding that NFT will require you to earn 10,000 points on Decanect, which kind of verifies you to us, you know, that you are somebody dedicated to the crypto space. If you were able to earn 10,000 points, you know, it's something that we value. That would be another way.
Okay. All right. Man, I'm trying to think of questions here. Anyone want to pop up and help me out? Nobody. Thanks for all the help, guys.
Yeah, I guess I'll help out.
Hey, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the listing part, we're still working on it. Right now, what's being done, what's nearly done, is the ability for anybody to sign up and create quizzes, giveaways, and lessons for either for their project or for the services they provide. The listing part, we're gonna go ahead and pick out some projects ourselves anyway, and just go ahead and the ones that we know of, at least, you know, the ones that we feel are safe. You know, we're gonna go ahead and do introduction videos, and we're going to list them ourselves, you know. So for example, since we know heroes, you know, it would be also up there so people could kind of see the structure that it is, and so that you know, there's some listings already available on there so people could visualize the whole concept.
That's awesome. So let's talk about something just slightly different, and it's only because I love popping around different Telegram groups and seeing what everyone's saying. So what is your prediction for how low ETH will go and how long the bear market's how long we're gonna be in this market before it starts to turn around?
Okay, yeah. So we discuss this almost every day. In our
I
among the
know. I saw it earlier today.
yeah, in the chat everywhere we discuss stocks, everything. So yeah, but about a few days ago, it was really easy to say that it was. Well, now it probably just kind of obvious, but it was about $1,200. What I would have said that ETH was gonna go down to. Right now, it's, I guess, gotta give it. One rule that I have is after a big drop, I give it 2 weeks to see what direction it's gonna take. That's usually how I do it. I don't jump in after a big drop. I leave it alone, and I wait 2 weeks to see which direction is it going. So I, but as far as the price, it's really hard to say. I would think that 800 is very possible. At the same time, 1200 could have been the very least we're gonna see. It's really hard. I don't think anybody could actually predict that. But as far as, like, if you're looking all the way back, and on that technical analysis course, we put up a graph, a live chart of Ethereum on purpose, and we zoomed it out to 1 week, so people could see how tragic right now everything looks. If you zoom out on Ethereum, Bitcoin, or total market cap of crypto, and you put it on a 1 week chart, I mean, you see how tragic it looks right now. I mean, it's just hanging, it's hanging in the air, so it's really hard to say. Like, it could anytime go either direction. And it's probably safer just to say that, it'll probably take about 3 months. In my opinion, I'm waiting about 3 months to see what's actually going to happen.
All right. So, any prediction for the end of this market?
The end of this market, like general
Well,
crypto.
yeah. No, till it turns and goes into a bull run again.
Oh, I would honestly think this is gonna be next year. Just not sure how long. You know, look, it's really right now. It's like I said, it's hanging on the air, right? Like, it's really hard to say what's gonna happen next. Is it gonna just start going sideways? Because it hasn't started doing that yet. It doesn't seem like it. So after it starts going sideways, I would think, anywhere from 3 to 6 months. You know, just wait it out, and then it should start back up again. So most likely next year. That's what I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I've been thinking, somewhere around that $1,000 mark was going to be, where it would bottom out for Ethereum. Bitcoin, I don't know. That's probably, I would guess, right around 16 grand. But who knows, right? However, I have talked to a lot of people, and I think you're right. I mean, we're looking at this market that we're currently in, lasting till into 23, maybe as far as the first quarter of 24. And the thing that people should know is this is the market that makes or breaks you when the next bull run comes. And that is, jumping into the right projects, jumping into the right, blue chip coins or tokens, and, accumulating while we're in this space. Because really, it is a matter of everything is on sale. And if you look at the history of the crypto space, you look at the history of Ethereum, of Bitcoin, of the projects that had been around through a few of these cycles, that they always surpass their all-time high on the next bull run. So just that alone right now, buying into Ethereum, you're almost guaranteed a 3x, right? So it's just a matter of waiting it out and accumulating until that happens. And, I think that's what people don't understand is everyone, takes on what Jason's mindset was during the last bear market. And they're like, okay, well, nothing's happening. I'm just taking all my money out. Where if they just hang on and accumulate, man, that makes a world of difference in the next bull run. I mean, that's what I did during, the last bear market was I just accumulated, and it wasn't a whole lot. It was, anywhere from $50 to $200, a week, and it just adds up. And then when that bull run came last November, my wallets were looking pretty nice. So, that's what we have to look at. That's what we have to educate on. And, because we're in this, we have the opportunity to bring people in at a low, not at a high, right? So, they have the opportunity to have that massive growth where people that were jumping in November just because of FOMO, they heard all this news of Bitcoin, and you had Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live, right? And it just brought a lot of attention to our space that, people jumped in at the all-time high, and then things started to turn and they lost a lot of money. So, now is the time we want to get the mass adoption, people jumping in, people, investing in various projects, and especially projects like yours that are designed to be long-term, with everything. And I think CryptoPunk said it best. Crypto is ever changing. It's from just last August, the things that have come into play and what people are doing with their smart contracts, what they're doing with their NFTs. I mean, it is night and day difference, and it's not going to stop. We are the pioneers, and we are paving the way for tomorrow. And, when crypto is mass adopted like the internet is, I mean, geez, it's the projects that are hanging on and doing work now are going to pan out and be big.
I
Yes.
think you made a really good point there, Ace, actually, when you compared the crypto industry to the internet, right? Because the thing about crypto is, a lot of people would have, like me, would have joined in 2017, got burned in the bull run because they didn't understand market cycles. But them never came back, right? Which, is kind of something unique. I mean, it's like the internet, right? You try it once, you don't like it. Imagine if you never came back, right? Now, obviously, it's different, but with crypto, there is a risk that people will just be like, it's a scam, that's it, I'm done. And they may never come back, right? You might lose them for 10 years or forever, right? So I think that's where education can really help in terms of when someone enters a space, you educate them about how to avoid scams, about market cycles, so they understand where they've come in. Are they close to the top? Are they in a bear market where there's accumulation opportunities? And I think if you do that early with new entrants, then you get them to stick around, right? Which is was good for everybody, right?
Absolutely. And, I mean, I feel like crypto is going to run the path such as the internet. And, I remember, and it is the reason that I have the name Ace Overkill, is because when I initially signed up for my first email account, I was afraid to put in my personal name on the fear of someone stealing my identity or something happening that was bad, and I used the Ace Overkill, and I've been using it ever since. And now my kid uses it. So if any of you are gamers and you get killed by Ace Overkill, that's probably my kid, by the way. But the point is, though, is it took the internet a while to get mass adopted, and it wasn't the people that pushed it, that went in and really embraced it. It was, well, it was to an extent, but it was everything else, right? It was big corporations that went in and started using it and forcing people to use it. Remember when the best means of making a contact was by picking up the phone or setting up a meeting? Well, then it turned into email, and that was the standard for these corporations. And in order to use email, you had to be online. So I think with everything that's happened during the last bull run, with all the big corporations, the banks, even the government getting involved in crypto, I think it's inevitable that that's where this is heading. And in 15 years, it is going to be like the internet is now. It's going to be in the majority of the population around the world, is going to be aware of it, familiar with it, and using it. And, I think we are all super early for that.
Yes, Ace, if I may add also, I'm not sure this might help somebody, but right now is what I'm doing personally, right? Is just researching different cryptos, trying to understand their utility, their use case. One of my favorite ones lately is the graph. If you look at it, it looks completely, well, to me, it seems undervalued because that truly is, I mentioned it on every AMA, it's truly, to me, a Google. It's just like Google without a front end. So it makes it a lot harder for people to understand it because until you use the subgraphs, then, you don't realize how much data they have. But developers, a lot of developers and companies are using subgraph to pull data from the blockchain. So that's one of them. It's not the only one that's doing it, but so right now is best to just simply do research on various cryptos, not to rush to buy anything. There's definitely gonna be a time just like this again, if even if it goes up. That's what I believe. So I'm just taking my time to know when when it's done consolidating, when I feel like it's safe, I'll know what to buy. Because when you mentioned the internet, a lot of people have been, I've read a lot of articles about it, I've watched a lot of videos about it. It is a direct comparison to the dot-com bubble as well, right? So what happened then? About 90% of companies went bankrupt. So how many MySpace cryptos do we have now, right, that are never going to recover? So now is the perfect time to actually look into these fundamentals, to understand the utility, to see if there is something similar to it, maybe on Web 2, right? And to see how these cryptos are changing it. So the graph is definitely one of those. Link chain is, I believe that's amazing, to be honest. I mean, they're integrating real world data into blockchain. I mean, that's, and as far as I know, they're the main ones doing it, if not the only ones. As far as just metaverse and NFTs, there's another crypto called WaxP, for example. They have they're tying NFTs to real world products, right? I'm sure they're not the only ones doing it, but if you go check out their utility, it's actually good. I mean, it's working, and it is what they say it is. XTZ is another one. So it, right now I think is the best time to take your time to kind of research, do one project per week. There's time to do it. Just don't rush into maybe buying into jumping into something.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the whole point there was that this is going to come to an end, the current market we're in, and it's going to go to a bull market. We're going to have a lot of new people coming in and riding that wave up or buying at the top and then having to go through this whole experience all over again. But this is not just unique to crypto. I mean, if anybody is invested in the stock market, tell me how your portfolio is looking because mine ain't looking so great, right? And that happens. If you look back in history over just the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and you see, how it has played out over time. You have years where it just dumps and it's a rebuilding process. And what a lot of people don't understand is that is everything is on sale. If you're in a good company that, has long-term goals, you're buying that at a fraction of what it's valued at. And when the market returns, you are going to be sitting even prettier than what you were before it started to go down. And that's kind of where we're sitting at here with crypto. And for the long-term investors, they see that as well. They look at this market as, man, what should I buy next? Because everything is so inexpensive. And they know that the next bull run, it's going to just skyrocket. So anyway, so with that, do you guys have anything you want to add?
No, I think that's we could actually keep talking about this, but
Well, we could always keep talking about it. Yeah, but I like to keep the spaces to an hour because what happens is Lo, one of our devs, he takes a space and then he puts it on our YouTube channel, and so that it's always available, so it never disappears. So that if anyone is interested in Decanect, tomorrow or a week from now or a year from now, they can pop in to our YouTube channel and be able to listen to this and hear what you guys are all about.
yes. So if the only thing I would add is yes, if you are interested, just join the Telegram. I will share it in a second. And just take that quiz. I mean, it's a chance to earn some money for Christmas, as well as to get acquainted with who we are and what we have.
Nice. And everyone in here should be following everyone up here as a speaker. If you are not, you know, do it now, because the main account, Decanect, that has all their links, I'm sure, to their Telegram and all their other socials, their website, and so forth. So, final thoughts, closing statements.
That's it, I think, man. Just thank you for having us. And actually, would like to do this again sometime. Maybe once we have the Deca block already running, that would be really exciting to share.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime, hit me up. We're always looking for projects. Sometimes we're booking 2 months out. Sometimes we're booking for the next week. So, we just like to hold this space and bring projects to the community that are still, especially in this market, that are out there in front of the community and being transparent and being, available. That's what we appreciate most. And that's what we've been seeing during these spaces. They're a lot smaller than what they were, back in January and February. But the thing is, the projects that are coming in now, they're the projects that are working through this market and continuing to develop. These are the projects that everyone should be looking at and everyone should be really doing their research on and asking questions on and possibly investing. So, but that's up to you guys. You got to find the value in the project that you're looking at. And that's why we do this space. I feel like Decanect has a fantastic utility, something that is just perfect for anybody in this space, because I'll be the first to admit, those courses that I took on the Blockchain Council, I mean, yeah, I went through them and I took the exam and I passed, but I've gone back and I've refreshed myself on them multiple times because there's so much information and there's stuff that's building on top of that information on a daily basis. So we all need to do our research. We all need to keep educating ourselves, and we all need to keep looking at different projects and seeing how they are acting and reacting in this space, in this market. I think that's key. But yeah, with that, I do want to thank Decanect for joining us today. You guys are awesome, man. I pop into your Telegram and say hi or good morning every now and then. But I love the conversations you have, and that's why I brought up the the ETH price. Where you thought everything was going, because that pops up quite frequently. And that's just good conversation. It's different people's perspective, different people's just their analytics on how they look at that chart and where they see a bottom at. And we all can take that advice because no one really truly knows. But the more information that we can share with each other and the more we can educate each other, the better off we're all going to be. So again, I want to thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back next week, Thursday night. And yeah, I appreciate you.
Good. Thank you, Ace. Thank you, man.
Hey, thank you. Have a great night, guys.
Good night.